Third Act NC is a working group of committed seniors focused on the dual crises of climate change and attacks on our democracy. Earlier this week, News Team correspondent Patryk had a chance to sit down with one of their organizers and discuss their group as well as an upcoming demonstration this week.
This is Pat Battle with the Asheville News Team, here speaking with Karen Willey of Third Act of North Carolina. She's their communications organizer, and we're going to be talking about an event they have coming up this Friday. Welcome to the studio, Karen.
Well, thank you, Pat. I appreciate you having me here.
You've got an event coming up this Friday, but first let's talk a little bit about the organization, Third Act. What is Third Act?
Third Act is Elders for Climate and Democracy. So you may have heard of Bill McKibben. He started Third Act 3 years ago when he turned 60. But in 2008, he started 350.org, which was telling folks about the upcoming climate change issues, and that we needed to stay below 350 parts per million of carbon dioxide in order to keep a sustainable world. And we are way past that now. We're above 425 parts per million of carbon dioxide. So Bill is in support of the youth movements like Sunrise, and he said it's time to make our Third Act count, and he's mobilizing the energy and wisdom of this generation in our Third Act, and we are working to prevent climate change.
Well, that's a relief to know that everybody is getting on board for this important issue. And can you tell us what the event that you're going to be doing on this Friday is going to be about?
Yes, this Friday we're meeting up at Pritchard Park for a climate action against big banks. We are doing this in solidarity with the Summer of Heat on Wall Street. And folks have been mobilizing on Wall Street since June 22nd, the first day of summer. It's called the Summer of Heat, and there have been multiple arrests every day. Bill McKibben himself was arrested yesterday on Wall Street. It's Elder Week, and so we are working in solidarity with them with this Elder Week action at Pritchard Park, trying to get banks to stop funding fossil fuels. Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Citibank, and Chase are to the tune of $15 billion a year, or have given $15 billion to fossil fuel industry. And fossil fuels, quite simply, fossil fuels are what's causing climate change, and we want them to stop.
And so they're going to want to invest somewhere. How are they going to invest? What are they going to invest in if they don't invest in fossil fuels?
Well, we want them to go with wind and solar, alternative energies that are clean and do not put carbon dioxide into our atmosphere, and they're ready to ramp up, and they are actually cheaper in the long run than using fossil fuels.
And so what would that scenario be? Would it be investing in large solar farms and large wind farms, or?
Well, that's what they're doing now. We would really like to see smaller community solar coming into effect, and this is going to affect, Duke Energy and their big monopoly. That's another issue we're working on, is the carbon plan that is the state of North Carolina is enhancing their carbon plan, and Duke is in charge, and they want to go with more fossil fuels like natural gas. And we want them to go with community solar, letting smaller, dispersed rooftop solar. So you're not taking up habitats with solar farms. But for now, if they can do solar farms, we're willing to work with them on that. We've got to stop fossil fuels. That's the main thing.
Okay, and this is a Third Act demonstration, but you're asking everybody to come to it?
Oh, absolutely. Third Act is organizing it, but we want everyone to come. Children, adults, everyone in between, college students if they have time off from class. It's going to be a fun event. We have a couple of speakers to get you situated. We're having street theater. We're having musicians do a small set. We're having the Brash Your Heart, which is an Asheville group that gets the chants going. We're going to lead the chants, and they're going to play the music, and we're going to parade around the park at Pritchard Park and over to Wells Fargo, the bank that is across the street.
Well, that's convenient.
Quite.
And so, what are the details? When does it happen? What do you think people should bring? What should people expect?
So it's at noon to 2 on Friday in Pritchard Park. Pritchard Park is shaded, so we're going to be sure that there's plenty of space for people to be in the shade. Bring your water. We will bring a big, 3-gallon thermos for refills if you need, and, dress for the weather. Bring an umbrella. We're going to have Granny's Umbrella Brigade, so we have some decorated umbrellas, but join us with your own if you like, and that'll keep you in the shade and be part of the action.
Great. That sounds like a fun way to make an important point.
Absolutely.
And so, if folks are excited that you're all doing this work, and I am definitely an elder myself. I'm happy to hear that you're out there taking action. And if folks want to find out more about your organization and see how they can plug in, how would they do that?
Third Act WNC. We have a local group. So if you go to Facebook, we're at Third Act WNC. You can email us, thirdactwnc@gmail.com, or you can find us if you Google Third Act North Carolina. You'll find everything going on in the state, and you can connect with us there. So we'd love to have more folks join us. We have a monthly happy hour at the River Arts District Brewery. So the third Thursday from 4 to 6, we're always there. And we're starting a monthly climate cafe at the Grind, also in the River Arts District on Depot Street. The second Tuesday, we were there this morning, at 11. So join us at either of those places, and we'll welcome you.
Have some conviviality and make some plans about how to make sure that we take action.
Yes, we do an action every time. This morning we were writing postcards to the corporate offices in North Carolina of Bank of America and Citibank. No, Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo and Bank of America have headquarters in Charlotte, and so we sent postcards to corporate offices there today. So we every time we meet, we have fun, but we also have a concrete action that you can do.
Well, that sounds both productive and satisfying.
Yes.
And so is there anything we haven't covered? Is there anything else you'd like our listeners to know about Third Act or about the demonstration or anything about
Well, why do we want them to stop fossil fuels, right? We want big banks to be responsible managers of our money for future generations to have a livable earth. And here's why. Because the atmosphere, this is why we want them to stop fossil fuels. Because fossil fuels cause climate change. And here's the simple science behind it. The atmosphere is like a blanket that surrounds the earth. And when we burn fossil fuels like coal, oil, and natural gas for energy, we add carbon dioxide to this blanket around the earth that is our atmosphere. And we're thickening the blanket. The more fossil fuels we burn, the thicker the blanket gets, trapping in more and more heat. And this is disrupting the climate, as we can see all around us. Hurricane Beryl just came through Houston. I heard the president's press secretary just on my way here talking about the millions of people without power now, and they are concerned because it's so hot and they have no power. So we want a livable earth. It's happening right in front of our eyes, and it's time for these big banks to stop enabling the fossil fuel companies.
All right. Well, thank you so much for the work you're doing, and thanks for coming in and telling our listeners about it. And I hope that a bunch of folks are inspired and come on out for Friday's event.
Thank you. I hope so too, and I hope they'll join us for other events as well. We're a fun group of old folks.
All right, well, appreciate your coming in.
All right.